And we also have a thing to do today. I would like for a couple of you to come forward, those on the staff, Helen and Doyle, if you might help us. Just stand with me so I have courage. Yeah, right there. Yeah. So I have said much about Ansley. Obviously, it's hard for me to talk about it today. In my sermon last Friday. But, I mean, just when I think about you, I think about how you give your full and honest self. And I really appreciate that. I mean, your gifts are amazing as teacher, preacher, and pastor. And these are the things that that we are supposed to be learning and growing in our priesthood. I love your laughter and your ability to build teams and connect with people. I mean, just so easy with your smile to just draw people right in. And that you're willing to follow through on things that are yours to do. And I can always count on, like, if I've asked you to do something, that it's going to happen and you'll be there and, like, no question. And that is, in this day and time, that's something to really treasure. The thing that I think means the most to me is that you love God and you love people. I mean, that's the deal. You gotta, whatever gifts and talents that you have, and there are many, if they're not done with love, they don't mean much. So, thank you for that. I really think that you give us kind of the cream of your heart. That's sweet. I would say definitely you've left an imprint on us, and that is the hope, I think, of an associate, is that their fingerprints might be somewhere in St. Christopher's when they leave. And there's so many things that you sort of left with us, this Epiphany, the Festival of Lights, and the chili cook-off, the welcome tent, this Start with Epps Christian Center, which is so important that we get to see and actively do something with people who are hungry. This use of realm, moving us into a technology thing, the fact that because of your leadership and because of your capital that you've spent on justice and of willing to speak out for this whole town and to represent the religious community. I mean, I think that more and more St. Christopher's comes and leans that way, that it's not a weird thing anymore, that it's the just thing, and that's a shift that's really important. So thank you for those fingerprints that are indelibly Christopher now. Yeah. And we hope that we've put some fingerprints on you. I thank you for the joy that you bring. I thank you for your dimples and your smiles and, just for all the ways in staff. There's just such good fellowship because a lot of times I come in and I'm like, okay, we got things to do, mission out. And Ansley's like, oh, hey, how's everybody? we should greet one another first. We should have lunch together. So I really appreciate that. I really appreciate the 3 I's that I think you embody. I mean, and I look for this in subordinates, in people that I work with and that I so depend on. Your ability to have initiative, your intelligence, and your integrity. This initiative that you see things that need to be happen and you don't need me to tell you how to do it, and I got some ideas. I can do this. I can take care of this, and that is so important. I mean, that helps me to run as you're running. Your integrity, your ability to, I trust you implicitly, and there's nothing that you would do or say that would compromise, our work that happens behind the scenes. So important. and just your intelligence. I mean, you're smart and you're bright, and as many people say, you're wiser than your years, but you act your age, and that is so important, and it's why we love you. I mean, I think we were worried when there was some worry when we brought you on that, oh, we're bringing in another woman priest. We got 2 women. But I think we're so different. We're so differentiated and complementary that it's been wonderful. And I think we sort of demonstrated or modeled maybe for other churches and just even for ourselves that this kind of matchup is actually possible in 2023, you know? So that's kind of cool. And so what we want to do, there's so much more I could say, but I finally got my composure. So what we want to do is offer you a gift that we hope that you will remember and treasure. And once you see it, I'll tell you about it. And Doyle and Helen are going to help don it on you. You must remove your stole. And we have made a stole just for you.
That's beautiful.
And
Taco Tuesday.
I hope that you know that we see you as we've designed this thing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. There's Riley and Yams. I don't know, man. I am.
Ice cream.
There's ice cream.
Tacos and dancers.
And where do you kiss?
St. Christopher.
St. Christopher's.
Oh, this
You know,
is so...
there's some Pensacola things, some dancers, and just Pensacola at the bottom. This was a very joint gift. Cynthia Tappan made it. Yeah, you and Jen and Michelle did the, you get to don it.
I have to kiss it first. Can I kiss it? Thanks.
Yeah, yes, you gotta kiss first. Yeah.
Just grab it.
Oh, thanks. Oh, this is so great. Thank you.
And even Florida.
In Florida.
Very subtle, but it's in
all
there.
my
you
favorite things.
Yeah.
Oh,
So anyways,
Thank you.
we think that that's maybe the best gift we can
yes, definitely.
And,
I'm like, yeah, you don't find me speechless often,
Right.
but
give. So
wow, thank
we want you
you.
to remember where you came from.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you
We
so
love you.
much. Love you too. Thank you. That's great. Thank you. Thank you. Same. Thanks, Doyle. Oh,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to say my thank yous, but so y'all can be seated, because I'm not really good. Susan's really, really talented at being able to speak with a few notes or no notes. I'm not. They tell you to know your gifts and strengths and your weaknesses, and I know my weakness. So I wrote out some things, and before I go into them, I just, again, thank you, Susan. Thank you for all the words that you've offered today in your sermon and on Friday night, and I'm going to be processing this for a long time. So thank you. Martha and Scott, you might want to sit, because I will tell you, I can only think in 1,500 words. Those are how long my sermons are. So my thank yous are also 1,500 words. So you get like 2 things. Sorry, friends. So I truly cannot believe that this day is here. It really feels just like yesterday that y'all are all saying aloha to the aloha party, and I was meeting you for the first time. 2 years have really flown by, and normally when writing my sermons, my words, they come really easily. But this weekend, as I tried to write down my thoughts, they didn't come as easier. It was difficult, because how can I sum up 2 years of love, acceptance, fun, and growth into just one brief thank you? It's impossible which is why you get 1,500 words, not brief at all. And so I pray that one last time, that between the words that are spoken and the words that are heard, that the Spirit is present, and that you know just how much all of you mean to me. I came to St. Christopher's fresh out of seminary, eager to get running. Of course, there was still a pandemic lurking, and we didn't know how that this would continue to affect our lives and our ministry. I am so thankful that St. Christopher's was committed to never missing a beat and willing to continue to build and grow community in any way possible. You embraced change, the stop and go pattern forced upon you, but you never stopped being a church. You never gave up. Your faithfulness is steadfast and has been inspirational to me. Quickly upon arrival, I learned St. Christopher's had a motto and tagline that we're St. Christopher's, real, rooted, and relevant. And responding to Christ's call, we actively carry God's love into the world through healing, hope, and hospitality. And I admit I was very curious to see how church can live out their prescribed motto or mission statement. Because after all, our catechism gives us the mission of the church. Why would we need another one? What I learned from all of you is that you really commit to those 3 R's and 3 H's. Real, rooted, relevant, healing, hope, hospitality. Real. It's what attracted many of you and me to this place. You're authentic, and you invite everyone to be their authentic selves too. There is nothing you have to do or change about yourself to belong at St. Christopher's. You've accepted me for all my awkward quirks, my swaying at the altar because I'm a dancer and I can't stop moving, for my creative clergy attire and my overalls with chacos. You did not compare me to others. You let me be me. You let me be real. So thank you for being real too. Rooted. I wondered what this meant as I've moved every year or two since 2010. What does it mean to be rooted? You showed me that being rooted is built first on being real, that authentic self. You cannot be rooted if you don't first know who you are. And then it is about being grounded in love. Love by our God, a love that we can never lose, a love that we experience and find in community. I felt that love from day one when I interviewed and ran into none other than Miss Jerry in the office. Immediately, she and others told me that if I came to St. Christopher's, I'd never go hungry because she and others would constantly be feeding me. And I felt that love through Miss Jerry's cooking, when she goes above and beyond to accommodate all my food allergies. I felt the love of community in my small groups, in the vestry, and most of all, or especially so, in the receiving line after church. The smiles and hugs from all of you. Believe it or not, I'm not a big hugger, but you all make me want to hug you. You ground me. You help me remember and know what it feels like to be rooted in God's love. Relevant. Of all the 3 R's, this is probably the hardest one. In a world where everything is changing, everyone and everything is competing to be relevant. I appreciated and admired this goal for St. Christopher's, and I reaped the benefits of it. The way St. Christopher's embraces this call to relevancy is a drive to never stick to the status quo. And to a new priest, fresh out of seminary, it is the best thing that I could ask for. I tend to have a lot of ideas, and they're not always good ones. I'm an experimental learner. I need to try something or see it be tried before I'm ready to give up or switch courses. And as a younger priest, I'm also constantly thinking about what the church will look like or what purpose it will serve in 10, 25 years. It's a kind of selfish wondering because I want to be a full-time priest in a parish for 30 plus years. But really, I think that we have to always be aware or thinking of the future. So many of my ideas stem from this wondering, and I'm so grateful that you not only let me wonder and try, but you fully embrace my ideas. When I asked to do a Festival of Light Epiphany service, you jumped at it. Even when I got COVID and I couldn't be here, it happened. When I begged the vestry to do the 5th Sunday breakfast or 12 birthday cakes at Pentecost, or I asked different groups to tissue stained glass the parish hall, you all went for it. You didn't say, no, this is how we've always done it, or no, Ansley, that won't work. We've tried it before. Rather, you are committed to being relevant. Even Mother Susan was begging actually last year that we should be on TikTok. We should be making TikTok videos. And now, the 3 H's. As a priest, I thought I'd be the one offering healing. St. Christopher's, however, is known to be a place where you can come lay down your burdens and a place where you can heal from all sorts of trauma. And I've witnessed you all support each other. I've seen our pastoral care team and Mother Susan drop everything immediately to help our family in Christ. Exactly how Jesus drops and goes. I've seen Susan leave from family events or her own personal free time to go and be at a bedside or go take a call. And I've seen other parishioners do it too. I've been blessed to serve with them. But I personally felt the healing that St. Christopher's provides over the last 5 months. They've not at all gone according to my plan. They've been incredibly painful and tough. But you all have been there right with me through it all. Early on, my mother said, honey, I hate that you're going through this, but I am so glad that you are at St. Christopher's during this all. And she's right. You've been gracious, supportive, and loving through it all. You've picked me up out of the desolate pit, and you continue to show me the light of Christ. You all are healers. Thank you. Hope. You bring hope. And I've had a front row seat to the ways that you all bring hope to our community and our world. I've been inspired by all of you who share a commitment to serve our children through education, through OJ Sims, feeding programs, Freedom School. You know our children are our hope, and your attention to them is their fuel. In my 2 years here, you've raised over $5,000 for literacy alone. And I've seen hope in the growth and commitment to Just Pensacola, in the work done by our leadership team. We had nearly 100 Christophers come out to support justice. You all are faithful hope bearers. If you've never counted our Love and Serve booklet ministries, we have nearly 40 ministries and counting, with the addition of EPS, that are devoted to bringing hope into our world. That is something to be really proud of. In a world that desperately needs hope, you, St. Christopher's, are a beacon of hope. And thank you for teaching me about it. And lastly, hospitality. I remember at my ordination party feeling overwhelmingly spoiled by all of you. The parish hall was packed with people and yummy food. I was blown away by your hospitality. You'd only known me for a few months, and you treated me as your family. My immediate family still talks about the shrimp and Miss Audrey Snow's brownie alcohol-filled treats that were served that night. And then you did it again this Friday. Not only did you really get me with all my favorite things and treats, but you all showed up. You took time out of your busy Friday evening to come and celebrate with me. You were generous, and your hospitality is incredible. And these, of course, are only two examples because this is the one that St. Christopher's really rocks at. I mean, we host concerts for the public just because. You do it because of the genuine love for the neighbor. And as Susan said, that's what our kids learned about at VBS this week. They learned about loving their neighbor. At St. Christopher's, you all live into God's call to love our neighbor. And I'm so blessed to be a recipient of this love. You're led by a fearless, generous, faithful, compassionate, and selfless priest and leader in Mother Susan. I admire you, Susan, and words cannot express the ways that you have impacted and changed me for the better. I am so grateful to have been your partner in Christ. And I've been blessed by amazing leaders, co-workers, and parishioners who have become my family. I'm not sure what I will do without my extra mothers, dads, and grandparents when I move to Connecticut. Thank goodness for FaceTime. And I'll especially miss all of our youth, our acolytes, and our children who constantly remind me that the church is in good hands. These 2 years have been ones of immense growth for me. I truly cannot imagine a better place for me to begin my ordained ministry than here at St. Christopher's with all of you. Thank you for loving me. I love you all and will miss you tremendously. May you continue to share God's love with others, changing their lives just as you have changed mine. Thank you.
Yeah, and Ansley, we will definitely miss you, and we feel like you're ready to go, like you're all ready to do that good thing. So we give you our blessing.
Thank you.
Thank you for celebrating one last time.